Welcome to the Epics Podcast Special Edition. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How we doing, ThankMeLater?
Very good.
Very good.
Was my
Yeah. So, man, 2 special edition episodes in a week.
crushing it.
Crushing it. A lot of content. This is recorded on January 27th, 2022. And if you need the disclaimer, just listen to the episode previously to this. We are once again streaming live and really enjoying the streaming and having fun with this platform. So if you're ever looking for a streaming platform, go ahead and check out StreamYard because ThankMeLater has a lot of fun and kicks himself out.
I'm still figuring it out, man.
Yeah. And then we did just talk about the Los Angeles release, and it was on our list of things to talk about. And we realized that we never got around to it and ended the previous episode. And then there were a couple of points after that. So we decided to come right back on and give you a special episode. So the biggest, I guess the biggest issue you'd call it for the release?
No, I mean,
Okay.
no, because so I work in, you got to talk about what's the scope, the impact. Like, okay, the impact really only affected like maybe 1 or 2 people. I think the scope of it, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty, honestly, like, here's the problem. I don't know enough about it because it sounds like somebody went based off of, okay, tee up what we're talking about because you're getting me all riled up already.
All right. So the Chinese theater, very famous landmark in Hollywood. The pin on the map in Upland was wrong. They identified the wrong property. And they realized that they identified the wrong property and they were moving the pin to the appropriate spot. Now, I learned my lesson a long time ago. You can't go off the pins on the map. You have to do your own research. I drunk bought a property back in San Francisco, thinking it was the Federal Reserve in San Francisco. Super excited, super pumped about it. Come to find out they moved it a few years earlier, and that was the old building of the Federal Reserve. Now, I didn't do my research. If I would have done my research, I would have saw that, known that, and probably not drunk bought that property. And then I got that turned into a landmark, but that's a whole different. I just got lucky on that.
That was a great redemption story, though. Like, drunkenly bought a super property that ended up being nothing, but then turned into something.
$1,500.
I mean, you probably sell it to Netflix. I feel like you could sell the life story of that to Netflix. They buy anything at this point.
Maybe. Sure. Call it Alcohol Made Me Rich.
Okay. All right.
So you got to do your due diligence, especially, just don't trust the pins on the map. You got to make sure. And, even in New York, they had some things wrong and people challenged the team and they made the proper corrections. Now, where it kind of got heated today, I guess, with one of the Uplanders is they minted the property where the incorrect pin was. And then you kind of picked up the story from there. So why don't you roll with that?
So it was interesting because I saw this. So I got a couple Facebook groups that I'm in, and this person is in Facebook. I'm not going to name any names or anything, but they posted this rant about why they were very upset and they were cashing out of Upland. So they were like looking, he wants to sell everything he's got, his Discord, Facebook, Twitter, everything. And then he attaches the conversation between him and X1. And so it's interesting because, I mean, it looks like, because we had a situation in, where was it, where our boy bought part of that stadium?
Chicago.
So we had a loyal listener have something very similar. He bought a property that was ended up supposed to be part of a larger piece. Now, in this case, the player, as far as I know the facts, bought the address 6911 Hollywood Boulevard, and which is not the Chinese theater address because that is 6925 Hollywood Boulevard. Now, that being said, that was an amazing property to buy. It will be next to the Chinese theater. It is not the Chinese theater, but it's still an outstanding purchase. And from what I hear, is that he was able to sell it. Now, I don't know if we know that it went from this person to its new owner, but the latest purchase of it was for 2 million UpX. So 5x markup on a 400,000 UpX property, I believe was the numbers. 400,000, and it sold for
2 million.
2 million. Like, come on. I mean, I get it. They said that they were kind of just so excited with that they didn't mint anything else on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know how much I agree. Like, I believe that. Maybe they didn't have the UpX. Like, if you're there, you're minting. Like,
right.
Until you don't have UpX. But hey, whatever. That was what they were saying. I think it's obviously a great buy. I'm surprised that they put out an announcement on it, honestly. Like,
I like that they put out an announcement on it. It just, they're showing their transparency, and it's showing that, hey, they made a mistake and they're correcting it. And
but
you got to ask yourself on
That's
something like,
problem with. Who made a mistake? Upland? What did Upland make a mistake on?
The pin on the map for the Chinese theater.
Oh, wait. No. What kind of pin was it? That's the part. Is it
it was Google. It was the Google overlay.
It was the black pin. It's the pins that we always say do not follow. Like, it wasn't the landmark pin, right? It wasn't okay. So, yeah, like, the Upland didn't do anything wrong. Like, everyone knows that you can't base it off of that. Like, that's not a thing. It's not run by Upland. Upland just uses it as an underlay for some sort of reference. So, but again, they made 5x. I don't know. I don't think Upland did anything wrong. I'm glad that they have the transparency. But, dude, you minted a Hollywood Boulevard property next to the Chinese theater. Like, that's a banging property. Like, wow.
Yeah. And we've talked about it in previous podcasts that places to target. Yeah, you might not have the UpX for the landmark, or you might not be able to mint the landmark, but get the stuff around it. It's just as valuable. It's not going to be equal, but you're going to do stuff like this where you're able to 5x. And
yeah, I think your profit, it could be a lot more. Your profit percent for sure is going to be greater than the monument, because it's going to take that monument a long time to sell for 5 to 10x. Every single property that touches that monument is immediately worth 10x. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And you got to ask yourself too, would Upland leave something this iconic open to just be minted?
Well, I mean, they've made mistakes before, so
correct.
Like, that could happen.
That could happen. We've seen it happen.
It technically has happened. So I wouldn't say that. But, like, after reading it, it just goes, yeah. And to be fair, because we have been around for a while, TM put rightfully so, probably not everybody knows. Like, so I guess that's fair. So if you're not aware, like, that is not part of Upland the game. It is Upland the game is overlaid onto that. They don't manage it, they don't own it, they don't control it. That data is not attached in any way, shape, or form to your NFT or any metadata related to it. So, buy with caution on that.
And I'm also curious, does Upland have a quality control department, that's scrubbing these things prior to the release, or is that something that they're going to
But they're not going to scrub the third party. Like, They're not going to have somebody go and be like, does every landmark, does every little icon match up to the building? Like, no, it's not meant to be a point of fact. It is a point of interest and general guideline. Like, you should not base your buying or selling habits on it. I think they need to be more clear about that. Maybe even have the ability to toggle it off and have something related to like, hey, just so you know, this does not necessarily represent. It's just a general guideline.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But you can't get that upset though overall.
Well, if you're making 2 million, you made 1.6 million off of one property in a day. Like, you're doing pretty good. That property is not, in my opinion, well, it's hard to say, but I don't think it's worth 2 million.
Oh, you don't. You just said it was a 10x easy sitting next to a landmark, and he 5x'd it, and you're saying it's now worth 2 million.
Well, the landmark's not out yet, but yeah,
Okay.
in 6 months it will be. Like when the everything gets established. Like I don't know if I would have, like I would have taken that 2 million, I guess. Today.
And you would have spent it pretty quick with the way
Yeah.
the UpX was flowing.
Oh yeah, definitely would have spent it immediately. But yeah, I definitely would have sold it today for 2 million, and then because there's just so much of LA to mint fresh, like, and you'll make more off of it. So yeah.
Yeah. So Sunset or Santa Monica, which street do you like better?
Sunset.
Yeah.
I tell you why. Two reasons. One, selling Sunset. My girl got me addicted to selling Sunset. Dude, say we will. Those chicks are hot. I would buy from them. And then the other thing was we had like the selling Sunset thing in San Francisco, so Sunset will always be close to my heart. I don't think it's close though. I think Sunset by a fair margin in my mind. Santa Monica, yeah. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. What about like Broadway? Every time there's a Broadway, people go nuts. I saw a bunch of people posting all kinds of Broadway stuff today. Think Broadway's a thing?
Not in LA.
No.
No.
Yeah.
I would, I'd see something like Venice or Venice, Venice being one.
Oh yeah, Venice. Venice would have been. I can picture that being a really cool place for sure.
I know before we went on, there were some properties open still in Venice. Just
no, was it really?
Yeah.
Dang it, I'm out of monies.
Yeah, me too.
I need monies.
Me
plus,
too.
I'm addicted to buying these block explorers. They're just about another Bruce for like 50,000. Like I can't stop buying block explorers, man.
And you don't even have a block explorer shop.
No, everyone assumes I do. Nope, no block explorer shop, but I know most all the owners, so I'm happy to talk some and negotiate. No one wants to buy legits. Quote, still quite a bit of Venice, we're hearing.
Time to pull out that card.
Oh no. Mix, what are you doing to me? Is it true though?
It is.
Really?
It is.
Now, do you think Venice Beach they might just do the speedway? Like
I don't know. You can make an argument for the neighborhood itself, and you can make an argument for the boardwalk area.
Yeah. Is there cheap ones?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not like San Pedro.
Oh man. We had a couple listeners get gobbled up in San Pedro. Oh my gosh, there's like a whole slew of them. Yeah. Oh, they're about the same. Yeah. Somebody was talking about it because it's a little bit cheaper than Hollywood.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get them. I got a couple here for under 65. Man, I feel like I should go buy some.
There you go.
Damn it.
I'll get some in the next couple of days. But either way, we didn't want to leave all our listeners without the topic of the Chinese theater and having to do your own research, the importance of finding properties by a landmark because you're still going to make out in the end. And don't trust the overlays and just make sure that they find a 48K. Just make sure you do your research and be prepared for the launches. You got anything else, or you just hunting in Venice right now?
No, I'm just straight. No, I'm hunting for sends right now. Then to Venice. After I figure out how I'm gonna make some money.
You still haven't fixed your send issue.
No, I have a send problem.
Yeah,
I got 2 sends.
All right. This time we're serious. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Everybody be safe. We'll talk to you next week.